Chapter 1118. Wilbur let out a loud laugh all of a sudden. The sword he was holding lit up with spiritual flames that shot into the sky as he exploded with a terrifying spiritual pressure surging out around him. The fierce winds from the surrounding spiritual energies were crushed by this terrifying pressure at once, dispersed into the sky in the form of rampant spiritual energy. All three bodyguards felt immense pressure pushing down on them. They felt like they were stuck in a swamp, their movements turning slow and difficult. A sense of fear washed over all of them. Peak ambience level? It was important to note that peak ambience level would make one close to sanctuary level, and that was terrifying. Bayer, Grant, and Nora's expressions became fearful. None of their bodyguards would be any match for someone of peak ambience level. Demi was the only person smiling, with a wide, smug grin on her face that threatened to escape her in a laugh. At the same time, Wilbur let out a loud cry. His sword swung in Akoshi's direction, bringing about a wave of terrifying spiritual energy. Akoshi raised his battle axe as he felt a sense of terror washed over him. However, Wilbur's attack crushed the battle axe mercilessly before he sent Akoshi flying with a kick. Right after Wilbur kicked Akoshi, he slid to the left to avoid an attack from Zoa from behind before elbowing him in the chest. Wilbur swung his sword forward, slicing one of Jalen's arms off before retracting the sword to chop one of Zoa's legs as well and sending him flying with a kick. All of this seemed to happen in a matter of seconds. Wilbur put his sword away, the tip of the blade facing the ground. Akoshi landed heavily against the ground, spitting out a mouthful of blood. Jalen had lost a limb while he was caught off guard, forcing him to retreat at full force. Zoa landed at the same time, breaking all the bones in his body as blood gushed out of him. All three bodyguards were taken down in no more than a dozen seconds. Zoa and Jalen had each lost a limb, rendering them completely unable to fight back. They stared at Wilbur in shock, unable to describe the terror they were feeling at the moment. The power of a peak ambience level cultivator was undeniably stronger than them. Despite that being true, the fact that this man had been able to heavily wound all three of them with just a few moves put him in a different league altogether. His combat skills were definitely a sight to behold. His form seemed impossible to nail down, making his opponents lose their bravado in no time. Bayer, Grant, and Nora stood frozen to the ground, their expressions numb. All four bodyguards were ambience-level cultivators. How was Wilbur powerful enough to heavily wound the other three within barely 20 seconds? The three clan representatives' faces flushed an ugly shade of purple all at once. Their lives would be in danger if Demi were to order Wilbur to go in for the kill now. Despite the fact that they had each come with their own team, their men were at the foot of the mountain and would not be able to make it in time. With how powerful Wilbur was as well, it was definitely more than possible for him to take them down in mere seconds. Demi burst out laughing at the looks on their faces. "What's the matter? Scared?" Nora took a deep breath, her voice dangerously deep. "Do you really think we'd be scared? Are you trying to incite a civil war?" Bayer and Grant returned to their senses as well. The fear they had felt just now had just been from the direness of the situation. Demi would never actually make a move on them. All three of them were the heirs to their respective clans, and a civil war would be bound to break out if something were to happen here. Of course, the three of them would join forces and take down Kolan tribe before anything, and Demi could not afford that. They had been relying on keeping a balance of power this whole time. If war were to break out, the balance would tip and bring about great tragedy.